Have you ever wondered how some Vancouver-based companies have grown to become wildly successful nationally or even internationally? Hi, my name is Reece Sims, and today we are going behind the brand to talk to the CEOs, founders, and influencers who have made it happen. As the leader in custom online menswear, Indochino has grown from a Vancouver-based startup to an international sensation in less than a decade. With over 120,000 customers in 140 countries, Indochino provides modern gentlemen with high-quality menswear that fits their bodies perfectly. I'm here with Kyle Vucko, the co-founder and CEO of Indochino, to talk about shifting a pain point to a profitable business venture. All right, why don't we start off with some quick fire questions, Kyle? So why don't you give us 6 words to describe yourself?
I don't know if it's 6, but honest, sometimes to a fault.
Okay, I like it. So where's your favorite place to eat in the city?
Hands down, it's Nook on Denton Street.
Excellent, and what kind of suit do all men need to have?
For suits specifically,
Yes.
It's gotta be a light gray or a dark gray suit.
Okay, and if you could have any kind of superpower, what would it be and why?
It would be telepathy. I'd love to know how people think and how they see the world.
And finish the sentence for me. I can't go anywhere without my blank.
My iPhone. I live on it, I work on it, I conduct business on it. It sits in the breast pocket of my suit. It's a must-have accessory.
All right, and the final question is, why is Vancouver such a great place to live and start a business in?
For me, simply it's home. And it also happens to be a great location for startups, for weather and lifestyle. I mean, the usual stuff, but for me more than anything, it's what I know. And specifically to my business, and I think a lot, the idea of just being connected to the world. It's a one-stop to Asia, it's a one-stop to Europe, anywhere in the US is accessible from here.
All right, Kyle, so tell us the story behind your brand. How did it become the success that it is today?
Sure, so, the startup story was actually really simple. It was my co-founder and I, we were both buddies in college. He had never bought a suit before and he found it to be really tough. And we felt that the best way to get the product that we wanted was to offer custom clothing and do it via the web so you could buy it from anywhere and get stuff that fits you well and ultimately that you could afford. And behind all of that was more than anything a focus on building a business and a solution around guys and the customers. And I think that's been something that's continually served us, this idea of helping guys, whatever that meant.
Now, did you have a background in fashion when you first started the company? Like, where did you get the ideas for the different suit concepts from?
So my co-founder and I both didn't have a background in fashion, and coming up with designs was really more coming up with understanding men and how they shop and what they need. And it was very easy, being a suit shopping guy, to kind of come up with that initially and then building on it from there. But really it was about focusing on the customer that enabled us to be successful with figuring out design more than being a designer first.
Now, I know at the beginning of your company you had a lot of investors get involved. Do you have any advice on how you can get investment in your company as a prospective startup?
Yeah, of course. I mean, getting investment is a very hard thing to do. And I think some of the important things that I found to be helpful is, first off, really getting clear on the type of business that you want to create. And so that's part business planning and part vision. I think there's an element around, the clearer you can be, the more articulate you can be, but also the more thoughtful you can be, enables you to start and grow a business a lot more effectively. I think, as important, if not more important, is really getting clear on a big idea. Okay. If you're going to go for venture capital, as an example, they're not looking to invest in a regular company, they're looking to invest in a game changer. And having an idea that's a lot bigger than, in our case, we're not just a clothing brand, we're reimagining the way men get dressed, get styled, and we're building a business around that. That's a much bigger idea than, helping guys or just building suits.
Okay. So you started out with a traveling tailor program. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you decided to transition it into creating showrooms in different cities?
We started initially as an online-only business, and we did that because we wanted to help guys everywhere. And we were hearing from a lot of guys that they wanted to see and feel fabrics and they wanted help getting styled, which I totally understood because my experience of shopping for a suit in a store was really poor. And so the traveling tailor was this idea of how could we create the best retail experience for men oriented around men. And so The experience is really helping guys get styled, measuring them, doing it all via an iPod Touch so that it's all saved in the cloud so that they can buy from anywhere later. And from there, what we learned through doing these pop-up stores, and we did them across the country and into the US, we did over 30 locations in a couple of years, we learned that actually being there longer term was helpful. We could really build a relationship with guys, we could help them with second fittings, we could really build in the community as well. And so, just last year we decided to go from these short-term stores to now long-term stores, and now we're in 5 markets, and we're going to be opening at least 5 more this year. We have always been unique in that we've always been pioneers. I mean, we were the first to do custom clothing online. We were the first apparel company to go from online only to then offline, and go from then pop-up stores to now full retail. And on top of that, I think what continually pushes us in that direction is just this focus on our guy and our focus on the customer, and building a business around that and evolving a business around our guys' needs as opposed to having our business dictate what men should have.
And the final question that I have for you today are, what are the top 3 pieces of advice that you wish you knew when starting out your company?
I think probably one of the biggest things was just the level of commitment that is involved. I think you need to be a pretty committed and driven person as a founder. But I think one of the things as a 21-year-old when I started the company was I didn't realize that it would probably take me a decade to do this. A decade's a long time. And I've loved every moment of it, and it's been a process. And so I think knowing that going in is important. I also think it's important to really be thoughtful around your vision and the business plan, because that's really going to set the tone on how fast you grow, what you do, where you go with things. And that really brings me to my 3rd piece, which is really get clear on what you want more than anything else, because the company you choose to build will very much impact you, the role that you play in it, how much you sleep, and it really pushes up against your priorities. So the more that you can align your business vision with your priorities, or at least understand your priorities within that vision, I think you're really going to set yourself up for success.
As you can see, when you're struggling with a challenge, perhaps with some out-of-the-box thinking, you can shift that challenge into a business opportunity in disguise. We would love to hear about your similar experiences on Twitter. Please connect with us there. And until next time, I'm Reece Sims, your go-to gal for all things branding.